Good evening. Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori, and I have a very special guest with me this evening, Miss Rebecca Jackson. And before we start talking about what the event that's going on, I got to do this. I got two birthday shout outs to give before Rebecca tells us about herself. First birthday shout out is one of my classmates, Felicia Wright. She's celebrating her 50th birthday today. So happy birthday.
Woo!
We celebrated her last night and we had a ball. And also happy birthday to my girl Amanda Mack, who's celebrating a birthday today. Wish you both a happy and blessed birthday. And may the Lord bless you with many, many more to come. Rebecca, what's up, girl? How your Sunday going?
It's going good. We can't complain, and we won't.
Re- and ain't.
And ain't. Yes.
Listen, tell everybody before we start talking about the event that's going on next weekend. Tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Rebecca, from Florence, South Carolina, good old Flow Town. Um, and I am kind of a jack of all trades or Jill of all trades. I do a little with businesses. I work with businesses as far as their marketing, different strategies. I work with nonprofits. I'm just out in the community trying to do some good. And I have a platform called PD Black Expo where we do work with businesses and get them exposure and things like that. And I can go on and on about all the things about all the things, but I know time is of the essence. So that's me. Just I'm on Facebook at Rebecca Jackson, and reach out to me if you're in the PD area.
And I heard you was doing some singing last night.
You know what? I was thinking to sing them happy birthday to your two friends.
You can?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. And that's for Felicia celebrating 50. And Amanda, I don't even know how old you are today, but happy birthday, girl.
But
That
that's
was
all
for
right. Yes.
y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, like I said, I was celebrating with my classmate last night. So
Mhm.
I RSVP months ago, but if I would have known, like I said, like before we went on the air, let me
Mhm.
know the next time that you're gonna be singing so I could definitely be there.
Okay,
But
I
you have
will.
this, yeah, but you have this event coming up next weekend. Tell us all about it.
Yes, real quick, shout out to Jazz on Dargan. Shout out to
Yes,
Tommy. Okay. Yeah,
yes.
so we love Tommy, man. Yeah, he's one of those people. He's always supported me, and I mean pretty much everything that I've come to him with, whatever vision it was, because I am a visionary. God gives me visions all the time.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's always been the one who were like, yeah, yeah, come on, you can do that. Yeah, you can use the place or the building or whatever. And so um Saturday coming on the 23rd, um it's kind of a full circle moment a little bit, because that is a that used to be City Grill. That used to be his spot, right? So that used to be the old City Grill. So now it's Epicenter, and we will be there um for good grief. Last year, I'll say around about August. Um every time I would go on Facebook, or I would go online or Instagram somewhere, and I just would always see people grieving or people posting about somebody passing. And God gave me the vision for it last year. Um, and I didn't see myself really doing it, so um I didn't see where he would use me. I'll say that, and I think that kind of gave me a hesitation, to actually do it, because I couldn't. I couldn't quite relate to everything that he was showing me, and I'm like, well, how am I going to do that? And, what are we going to be doing? And so, it was just a lot of questions going on. And so, I mean, this year it was the same thing. I just kept seeing, and every time I would speak to somebody, with somebody passing, and people are grieving, grieving, grieving. And so, he gave me a different perspective on what grief is, um and where it comes from. And so, we take losses every day. We lose things, whether it's material or whether, it's ourselves. Sometimes we lose ourselves.
Mhm.
um we forget who we are.
Mhm.
And I've known people to lose their houses to fires, like from last year to this year. It's just been so much loss going on. People have lost their minds, and so, yeah, he said that it's weeping endures for a night, right? Just one night. So he was like, there's loss happening all the time. And yeah, it's there's a support that needs to be there for people that are suffering loss. And yeah, so he gave me the name last year when I was speaking to a former coworker about her mom passing. And um it just came to me then, and so I thought that I was supposed to do it with her. How when you get a vision or an idea and you're
Yeah.
with somebody or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like we gonna do this, and we. And then it was like she disappeared. It was like she disappeared, and I was just like, oh, okay, so, um, but yeah, God was really like tapping me on my shoulder, like, okay, girl, like, go ahead, girl. So yeah, so like a few months ago, I'm like, okay, yeah, we doing it. We doing it. So yeah.
Well, here's the thing, he may have given the vision to you, so it's for you to carry the mantle. And that was gonna be my question, one of my questions as well as you were speaking.
Hmm.
What gave you the name Good Grief? Why, because some people don't look at grief as being anything good about grief. And let's
Hmm.
be clear, like you said, grief comes in many forms.
Yeah.
It could be from the loss of a loved one, it could be the loss of a home, it could be a loss of a job. And even for
Hmm.
me, recent months, I was grieving the loss of a friendship,
Yeah.
and it like resurfaces from time to time. So
Yeah.
grief comes in so many forms. And sometimes I know with me, my personal experience, sometimes it'll come out of nowhere. I could be having an amazing day and
Right.
grief just comes out of nowhere. Like
Hmm.
this yesterday, that's why I'm glad that my classmate did her celebration last night on the 16th, because one of my close cousins passed away. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
And
wow. I'm
I'm
sorry.
normally I'm normally like very sad, and I was actually sad on very sad Friday. Very
Mm,
sad Friday, and I'm glad that she had a party yesterday because I wasn't in the house crying.
yeah.
So you have to make sure you keep yourself sometimes occupied, because grief for
Yeah.
me sometimes
Yeah.
looks different
Yeah. Those
depending on
idle
when I'm
minds,
yeah,
having an idle
yeah.
mind. Yeah. Yeah. I know that. Um. I don't know. God has always placed me in a unique place. And I say it's unique because, like you said, like people don't often look at, grief as being a good thing. And, suffering the loss of my grandmother, that was like the first big, loss, because you're connected. You know what I'm saying? There's an intimate, close relationship or relation to something or someone that's there. And um it was tough. Um, but my grandmother had lived, she lived, um, I just always feel like God is gonna call everybody home, you know. we don't get to say, how, we don't get to say when, you know we don't get to we just don't get the chance, you know what I'm saying, to make it go our way. you
Right.
know and so I know that he named it good grief because um God is in the good, and God is good. And so I know that there's a play on the name good, because when you attach it to, you can attach it to anything, like grief. You attach it to grief and you don't see the good. You know what I mean? You don't see the good in it, but by itself you see it. And so God was really like, okay, we're going to change the face. He was like, I need to change the face of what good is, and I need to change the face of what grief is. And so, putting the two together, I believe that God wants to restore everybody's joy. And there is there has been an abundance of loss, and when you lose, your joy goes along with that. You know what I'm saying? It goes away with that. And so, um and I just went on Canva and just created this logo, with a smile, and I'm like, this is all the Holy Spirit, because I'm like, I don't feel like smiling every day. I'm not,
Right.
when people see me, most of the time I'm, hey, smiling and all of that, but behind closed doors, there's not always the good is not always happening. And so, I think God just wanted to remind everybody that the joy is still there, and that he's still good, and that you know it's going to turn around, it's going to get better, and yeah, and that's what good grief is. So
Right.
yeah.
And it's what tell us when the event is and say again the location. I know
Yes.
people probably heard of the Epic Center, but they don't
Mhm.
exactly know the location. So
Yes.
what time next week?
Yes.
How do they get tickets? You give us all the details so people will know. And actually, once we finish the live, make sure you put in the link so they can get their tickets as well.
Okay, I will do that. So the event is good grief. And it's for anyone that has suffered loss in their lives. Not just the loss of a loved one, loss period, like you said, a job or a way of life, a friendship, um yourself. So it is good grief. It is happening this Saturday, August the 23rd, at Epic Center in Florence, South Carolina. Is 260 West Palmetto Street in Florence, and it starts at 11 o'clock and goes to 3 p.m. And so we're just coming together. Everybody's coming together. We got some amazing panelists that's going to be on panel. It is not the speaking environment where you have everybody individually getting up and speaking and all of that. It's very laid back. It's just like you're sitting around talking to friends and family. So that's the environment. So come in. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite. It is on there. Good grief. That's it.
And it's free.
And it's free.
It
I
is
can't
free.
leave
It's
that
a
out.
free,
And it's
yeah,
free.
it's a free
Yeah.
event. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's a free
oh, I got to
event.
get,
Hmm.
and then it's like, is the, and then you can actually come as you are. You don't have a particular dress code. Just
No,
be
no,
relaxed. Like you said,
no.
we're gonna be
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, and I did ask a few people, just if they feel comfortable about doing it. But we are encouraging everybody that attends to either bring a photo of a loved one that's passed, or you could wear a shirt with them on it, or just come with a story, you know what I mean, with your story, because we do want to you know what I mean, we do want to have a release there. You know what I'm saying? We don't always share what we're going through. But it's going to be a place where you can do that. You can share and release, and hopefully everybody feels better after they do so. Um and yeah, it's definitely going to be something that we continue doing. As long as the good Lord above says so, then we're gonna keep doing it. And yeah, we taking one face step at a time.
Right. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it. This is actually
Yeah.
going to be, I can actually say this, and and I don't really say things unless I feel it, but I
Hmm.
think this is something that's going to be needed, that it's actually probably going to, this is just the beginning, but I can see this possibly going to different locations. Like it could be in Florence this time, could be in Hartsville
Yes.
next time, but I could see it. So
Yes.
you definitely got to make sure, because God gave this vision to you. So
Hmm.
you got to be obedient to where, because I could just see it being something
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Different locations. Girl, you may be in Charlotte
Mhm.
one weekend. You may be in Georgia one.
Someone
You just don't know.
someone
But
asked if I could come to have one in Georgia.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so it's in the works. It's in the works. So yeah, it's in the works. And so I know that Miss Tori is gonna yeah, you're gonna be on the panel. Um you're gonna be on the panel. And I'm just gonna say that and leave it there before you get butterflies. But I do
Yes,
wanna.
I'm gonna be on the panel because I do
Yes,
have some
you
stories.
said it. You said it. You finally
Yeah,
said it.
I have some stories to share. Trust me,
Yeah.
I got some
Yes.
stories to share.
Okay. And we want people to feel like they're not alone. You know what I mean? Like it's because it's a lonely place to be. You know what I mean? Because a
Right.
lot of times, sometimes you go through um shame almost. And I didn't even realize that. I'm like, you don't want people to know that you're grieving. You know, like what in the world? Like, how does that make sense? So yeah, so it's definitely we making it a comfortable place. It's not a place. There's going to be joy there. We're going to have a good time and socialize and just creating a space, for a community that exists. But I don't think we necessarily have a place to go. You know what I'm saying, for loss. You know what I mean, like, because
Right.
it's so it's so frequent. It happens all the time. And I don't think a lot of us even go to grief support after a loved one has passed. We don't go to counseling. We don't, get therapy and all of that. So and I don't want it to be the norm. I don't think God wants it to be the norm. Because he knows that we're not going to no therapy. And I'm not against it, you know what I'm saying? I've used it for one of my daughters before. But I think it's different. What he's trying to do is just way different, and I think he's trying to make it relatable and um just make it, because I'm a laid back person. So I
Mhm.
think that, you know, um I think I've been given a gift to make anybody feel comfortable and welcomed and all of that. So I think that's the environment that he wants to create, and what he's gonna do with good grief. And also I am looking for sponsors going forward. Thank you to our sponsors, Epicenter, Tammy's Teas, Greenleaf Cafe, um, oh my gosh, who else? I'm Uniquely Designed. Mom Get Up. That's another platform that I'm working on.
Mhm.
Um, and just everybody that's gonna be there. I look at everybody as being a sponsor, because sometimes, sometimes we'll take a pause when things aren't lining up, the way that we want them to, and all of
Right.
that. And so And so everybody just showing up, everybody that's got a ticket thus far, I appreciate y'all. I think that's a part of sponsorship. To me it is,
Right.
you know,
It
because
is.
you're yeah, because you're being you plan on showing up and being there. And so we are asking, you know, if you have any creams or shades of brown that you could wear, or white, if you can wear that to the event. So we are trying to do like have a color code, I guess. Not a dress code, but a color code. And I don't know why those colors, but I'm gonna leave that to, you know, to God. I yeah, but he gave me those colors. And so I think that they're soothing to me. But you know, so yeah, make sure that you, even if you're not able to attend, you can, once I put the link in the comment section, you can send it to someone, forward it to someone that may need, you know, just may need support and community around them. My cousin, my younger cousin is, you know, she's grieving still. You know, she lost her, of course we lost my grandmother, um and then she lost her brother, and then
Mhm.
we lost my grandfather passed, and then her kid's father passed, and then her mom passed.
Mm.
So, and that was last year. That was the end, towards the end of last year. And Sundays are like, for her, is rough. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that she comes out or whatever, because I feel that, you know, she needs that support. You know, it's one thing to have it, you know, from your family, and sometimes, you know, you expect to have it from your family, but your family isn't with you. You know what I mean? Like all during the day, or when you go out, or whatever else. So yeah, it's definitely a outreach that's happening with Good Grief. So um yeah, we want to make sure that everybody, you know, gets back to that joyful place.
Hey, Antoinette, I was telling Antoinette about it last night. We were at our celebrate, and I'm hoping she's able to come. I
Okay,
was telling her
yes.
about it last night, so I'm just encouraging everybody to come. I'm excited about it, and like I
Yeah, I
said,
am
I'm
too.
excited.
I am
Yeah,
too.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about where it's gonna take you, because
Yeah. And
those
what I
that
say
are
take
not,
us. I say
yeah,
take us. I say take us because the I knew who you were, right?
hmm
I knew who
hmm
you were. Um and not on a personal note, right?
yeah,
But I think it was on June 19th, at Juneteenth of the PD. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm out here volunteering. You know, it was kind of on the spot, last
yeah,
minute, but I was pulled, you know, to serve in this heat. Okay.
yeah.
And I'm standing here, you know, I'm at the entrance or whatever, just kind of, you know, guiding everybody in. And you drove up and you spoke, and I'm like, I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like we, you know, and you probably had the same feeling, like I know her, you know, but you don't know
Uh,
me. But you asked if I wanted something to drink. I said, wow. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but I was like, she good people's. I
It
was
was
like,
fine.
honey, it was scorching that day. And um I mean, and not, I'm not saying anything again, but you know, God know what he be doing. Okay, God know what he be
Yeah.
doing, because it was plenty of other people that could have offered me. You know what I'm saying? I could have been offered drinks by everybody out there, but you offered me a drink, and I was like, yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, thank you. And ever since then, I'm like, we friends now. I'm
I
like,
was like,
we friends now. Period. Okay, period. And it was good. I'm like, we friends now. So yeah. Yes, I'm like,
Yo,
she's
she was
one.
sitting at that gate. I
She's
said,
one.
"Man, sweetheart." I said, "Can I get you a drink?" He's like, "Yes, please."
I was like, Lord, she must have felt so bad for me. My God. But God know what he be doing because it was right on time. Listen. Ooh, he's an on time God. Yes, he is. Ooh, I would I, mm, mm.
I had got that good old drink. I said, let me go get her one of them drinks I
Yeah,
had.
buddy. Yeah, buddy. It was good. It was good. So, whether you want to be, my friend or not, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So
We friends for life.
we friends, girl. We friends for life. Period. Period.
But I am definitely looking forward to the event, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it for and also mention because I saw on the flyer, are we gonna be taking pictures because it has a photo shoot? Is it are we gonna be taking
Yes. Yes, we're doing photos because it's a community social and photo shoot. So we have core photography that's gonna be there. That's Shaniqua McCants. That's her photography business. So she's gonna be there. She's doing a lot of behind the scenes kind of stuff. But yeah, we're doing photos. We're doing photos there. And yeah, we got swag bags for everybody. We got some good food, some vegan food that's gonna be there from Greenleaf. And man, shout out to Jamel because he Jamel's like, yes, 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 and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful that everybody is from our panelists to to our food vendor, our drinks, our swag bag items that are going to be placed yeah, I'm just grateful to everybody. Yeah, so I'm excited about it. So, yep.
and it's next weekend. Tell them again, next weekend, the time,
It is
location,
next
and
weekend.
everything.
It is next weekend is Saturday, August 23rd, 11 to 3 p.m. We are urging everybody to be there on time at 11. We'll end at 3 p.m. And it's at Epic Center. That's 260 West Palmetto Street in Florence, South Carolina. hmm And
Okay. And we look forward to seeing you there. Now, if anybody
yeah.
wants to reach out to you prior to
Mhm.
next weekend, what's your social media handle so they can reach out to you? Are you just on Facebook or are you also on other platforms as well?
Well, I'm mainly on Facebook with my personal. Rebecca
Okay.
Jackson is, yeah, you can find me on there. And I have other platforms, so I would link up with me on Facebook because it's a lot of
Okay.
platforms,
Okay.
other platforms that yeah. So we ain't got the time, but
Because
yeah,
see,
it's
the
still,
reason why I say
mhm,
that, the reason why I say that, not to cut you off, but the reason
yeah.
why I say that is because a lot of times I may have a guest on my
hmm
podcast and they may be doing an event and then you'll have different people that may reach out to them to make like right now this next week we'll have it at the Epic Center, but you may have somebody reach out to you. They may want you to come to their church, they may want you to come
Yeah.
to their place of business. So that's why I always tell people when we're promoting events and stuff like this, I always tell them to
Mhm.
promote, make sure their social handles, because you never know who may reach
Okay.
out to you
Yeah.
because of this.
Yeah.
You may be invited to somebody's
Right.
church because
Right.
like I said, people are leaving here left and
Mhm.
right. That's
Yeah.
why I think
Yeah.
it's so important for people to really, really enjoy life and just take
Yeah.
one day at a
Yeah.
time and enjoy life. And I'm learning
Mhm.
myself
Yeah.
as I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
this,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
me
It's a
because
managing, like, you
Mhm.
literally have to manage it daily, and so, praying and asking God, for his daily bread, it is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is real. And I mean, it's helpful, and so, we don't have to. we don't have to hold on to grief. We don't have to hold on to sadness. We don't have to hold on to anger, because sometimes people get angry, during the grieving process. It's so many emotions that people go through, during the process. And so you don't have to stay there. I'll say that. You don't have to stay there. And so it's making a choice. It's making a choice every day, sometimes every hour, you know, to
Right.
um to choose joy. So and to hold on to the fact that God has something for you, something new for you every day. You know what I mean? Like there should be a new perspective, something fresh, something new every day. You know what I mean? Whether it's your perspective, or whether it's increase. We do have to hold on to the good things. So yeah, so that's what we're doing our due diligence to
Right.
just to help people in those areas. And I'm not listening. I'm telling you now. I'm like, I didn't see myself doing this. So we do have we have Mary Pinkney out of Lake City. She has a she's a therapist, a counselor, and she has a Total Wellness Therapy LLC. So she's a panelist. We have Minister Zipporah Colvin. She's under the ministry of Bishop Blue. And we have you, okay? We're keeping the faith podcast. Um, we have Monet McElveen. She has Farmony Day Spa. She's a licensed massage therapist out of in Hartsville. She has her own business there. Oh my gosh. I'm just trying to think of everybody, but all of our panelists are I think they're well equipped for what good grief is and what it's going to be. Um because I'm looking at it, or God has given me the perspective of it being a total a total wellness, right? So you got your faith, you got your health, you have your emotional support, you have your physical health. You know what I mean? Massage is very, very, very therapeutic. um
Mhm.
Massage is therapeutic. Speaking to someone about what you're going through is therapeutic. um it's just so many different things. We have Journey Soap Bar. I can't believe I forgot about Miss Kendra. So Journey Soap Bar is one of our swag bag sponsors as well. I mean, we just got some amazing people. And she has she does the soaps and the oils and all of that. And she has her kiosk in the mall, which is amazing. And she has a store in Hartsville as well. And so,
Mhm.
just taking care of yourself, having a spa day, putting your feet up, relaxing, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that might be crying, just to have a day of therapy, or take the time to grieve. And grieving doesn't have to look like one thing or the other. However you choose to grieve, as long as it's
Mhm.
healthy, and it's moving you past all the negative things that comes with grief. um so that's what we're encouraging.
Absolutely. Now
Yeah.
listen, I'm trying to figure out and I'm like looking at this program here. There's a program that I use that we're on, and for some
Mhm.
reason after so many minutes it
It
kicks
shuts
me off
off.
Facebook. Yeah, it kicks me off Facebook. So I'm trying to get back on here. So give me just a second. Because
Okay.
it kicked off one of my platforms. I'm trying to figure out why it does that. This is the second
the devil
time.
don't the devil don't want
Listen,
that. He don't want this. He
this
don't
is
want this
sec-
smoke. He
This
don't
is
want the
second.
smoke.
Listen, this is the second time Facebook has done this to me. When I'm in the middle of a podcast, it'll just completely stop. And I'm
He
thinking
don't want the
people think
smoke.
that I just abruptly stop, but it's
Right. That's
the
okay.
devil, the
It's
devil
okay.
man. That's all that is.
Oh, he mad. He good and mad. Good and mad. He's good and mad. Cause I'm listen. You know what? Just to from last
Mhm.
night till now, and I know we came to an agreement that we were kind of going through the same thing, before we, hopped on your podcast. And so it's no coincidence. You know what I mean? It's no coincidence. And I think that's where the devil really wreaks havoc in our minds. And
Right.
so having headaches and having headaches and things like that, we could have easily said no, not today.
Right.
No,
Right.
not today.
But this is
But yeah, the Holy Spirit didn't. Yeah, Holy Spirit didn't say no. So
yeah.
and I was and that was one of the things that my pastor was talking about this morning, and it was about perspective and being persistent, and what God called you to do and what God told you to do. So yeah, so I know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So I feel good about that, and it's actually made me feel good. Like my headache is gone.
Look at God. And then, like I said, Facebook was trying to play in my face because this is the second time this has happened. I'm
Uh-huh.
live and my
Yeah,
live, they literally cut my live. So I had to
yeah,
I hope you guys are able to see me again because it like
yeah,
cut my live within like 20 to 30 minutes. It'll cut randomly,
yeah.
cut the live.
That's okay. That's
I
okay.
don't
They
know
can
what
find
else.
it. They can find it on your other platforms. So
Right. But
right.
I am so excited, looking
Yes.
forward to seeing everyone next week. Now, any final words? Because we're gonna wrap it up so you can get back to enjoy it, relaxing the remainder of your Sunday. But any final words that you want to say to the people in regards to grief or anything that God may lay on your heart?
Hmm. I'll say, and I know that God is saying this because He's speaking directly to me too. Um, keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Um, and I mean, it just got to get better. Like if you keep showing up, it'll get better. Yeah. And
Absolutely, that
and
is
I don't know
great.
what that means. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that means for anybody, but I know that's what God is saying. Keep showing up. Because I think we go into our little caves and our holes and stuff like that. And so for me, even doing this podcast is a leap of faith for me, because I don't know what God is doing, and I prefer to have it that way because sometimes when God shows me things, it scares me. You know what I mean? Because it's so big, and it'll
Right.
it'll scare me. And so, yeah, but I'm grateful for what God is doing and how He's doing it. It's just so organic, and it's like it feels good. It doesn't feel, I don't feel pressure. It's just, yeah. So yeah, whatever I can do, and I do plan on linking up with a few people that been doing things with grief support for a while, like Dominique. Yeah, so
McFarland.
like
Yes.
wow, like she's been doing this, So
Yes.
yeah, so I do plan on, yeah, we plan on making connections with everybody and just, seeing how we can serve, you know, um, as much as we can, wherever we can.
Now that's gonna be a dope collaboration. You and Dominique get
Yeah,
together.
I can
Oh, that's gonna
imagine.
be
We had a
that's gonna
long
be good.
conversation. We had a long conversation when I first, yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, I can see it. I can
yeah.
see it. And then we
Y'all know
got
I'm gonna
we
be
got
there.
Vanity Timmons. We got Vanity Timmons. She wrote a book. Man, people. it's
Oh,
some amazing stuff going on. And she wrote a book um for her and her daughter because her daughter was grieving, going through the grieving
mm,
process of her was grieving her grandmother's passing, which is her mom. So
yeah.
she'll be there, and then we have another young lady. I can't think of her name right now. I'm so sorry, but she'll be there speaking about um her survival from with domestic violence. And so
Mm,
she wrote a book. She wrote a book about it, and it's just there's it's just loss. You know what I'm saying? Because you think even if you were in a marriage, you know what I'm saying, or you're in this relationship, and that whole um way of life, you know what I'm saying, your family, and
mhm.
to go through domestic violence, and it tears your family up, and you got kids, and she has kids, and you know um so yeah, so loss is so broad, um and so yeah, it's touching. We touching on a lot of different things.
Right.
um
And
Saturday.
it's gonna be a safe space because just as you was
Yeah.
talking, there's things that came to mind. Like one of the things that people don't realize is like when it comes, like we were saying earlier, grief comes in so many ways.
Hmm.
And it just hit me how you can grieve someone that's still alive.
Right. Wow. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Like it just
Hmm.
hit me that I went through a
Yeah.
process and going through a process of grieving somebody that's still physically here,
Yeah.
but
But you gotta let them
I'm
go.
grieving, you know what I mean? You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta
So
let them go. You gotta let them go. Yeah. You gotta let them go. And it's tough. Like it's tough because
Mhm.
deep down that these demons are real. Okay.
Right.
And I think that I mean people wrestle, we wrestle with them, I mean,
Mhm.
all the time, you know,
Right.
and we don't have to. We just don't have to. And it's tough because like even if the person you like, okay, they're a good person. You know what I mean? Like they genuinely are a good person or whatever. And so, and you see that and you know that and you've experienced that, you know what I mean? You've experienced the good part of them. And so letting people go. Like I had like a few years back, I had to let my mom go. And my mom
Woo.
is she's yeah, them Virgos.
Don't do
but
that. Don't do
but no,
that.
don't do that. Sorry.
Don't say
but
my
but
bad on
my God,
Listen.
look, y'all about to tear me up. Y'all don't do it. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Okay, okay. Happy birthday to anyway. Anyway, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know what you
Shit like
mean.
Virgo season. But
Yeah.
but I had to let her go. So I had to grieve and
Mhm.
let her go because it wasn't healthy. Like
Mm,
um our communication with each other wasn't that healthy. And I guess for me, what I was holding on to wasn't healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really blame her because I'm holding on to it. People gonna be who they're gonna be or whatever else, and you can't change them. And I was like, you know what? I ain't trying to no more. Like I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? So I let it go. And so I did go through you know, uh, a certain amount of grief when it came to that. But I love I mean, and we don't talk that often and all of that or whatever, but you know, I love our relationship now. You know what I'm saying? I think that she realized some things, you know what I'm saying, in my absence a little bit, and I realized some things in her absence. But the majority of I think our issue was um because I'm an adult mom, okay, um you know, I was kind of like, I don't necessarily need I don't need your expertise. You know what I mean? Like, I can admit that. You know, we grown. You know what I'm saying? We grown, you know, so um and you know, Virgo's gonna tell you. Virgo Virgo's gonna tell you, you know, and you know, and I know that it might not have anything to do with signs, but I'm an Aquarius. So I'm kind of like, you know, I'll check out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. You know, yeah, like it ain't that serious. Okay. It is not that serious. I'm like, peace and love. Okay, that's me. And and we just, you know, was kind of bumping heads, and it was like silly stuff. I'm like, why? Like, what is going on? And so I really, even before then, I had to explain to my mom. I was like, you don't know me, you know, because, you know, her knowing me as a child, you know what I'm saying, and raising me, and you know, and all of that, I think it's a completely different experience. And I know that it was a different experience, you know, for her. So I think her having to come to terms with, you know, oh, wait a minute, she is an adult. You know what I'm saying? She is an adult. So there's a shift that needed to happen. And I don't think she was there at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I'm your mama. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. And I understood where she was coming from because of the way that she was brought up, you know, by my grandmother. So I kind of, you know, understood that. But yeah, child, I couldn't do it. I told him like, I can't, because I'm not about to be arguing. I'm not about to be all aggressive, and you know, I'm passionate, and there's a difference. There's a
Right.
difference between being passionate and being aggressive. You know, I'm like, oh, good Lord, it's too much, you know, and so it was tough, but I knew I had to do it, you know, for me, you know, and regardless of if she understood it or how it was going to make her feel, that was the thing about it. Like, oh man, like I don't want to hurt her feelings, you know, I don't want to hurt her feelings, but you know, I couldn't be concerned about it. I couldn't be concerned about it. Like God was really like, let her go, you know what I'm saying? Like let her go. And so it's been more than just her that let him go, you know. So yeah, I just finally was obedient.
How many people you just read by sharing that? That was
Let him
like
go.
real right there.
Especially, but you know what, especially when
Mm.
when you know it wasn't a malicious thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I'm like, I can't stand you or what. We never argued. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, it could be because um I'm always watching what I eat, you know, my health and stuff like that. I'm health conscious, as they say, or whatever, to some degree. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I have my moments. I'm like, let me get this good old fried chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
So so my mom was raised up straight soul food. Okay, it's straight soul food. Everything from the ham hocks to the neck bones to the pork chops to the anything you could think of. And you know, that was their life. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't looked at as, ooh, you shouldn't eat that. It was, this is what we have to eat and we gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? So um I don't and so I know that she wasn't, you know, doing things intentionally and saying things, you know, intentionally to me. But you know, it would be times or whatever, because my mom would cook Sunday dinner like every single day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh Lord, I can't eat like that. You know, and I never could. Even as a child, I would be the one sitting at the table, you know, last, because, you know, I ain't ate everything on my plate. I'm just like, yes, I will sit right here. I am not about to eat that, and I'm not about to eat that, and I will just sit there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, and for me, I'm like, how don't you know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should know that about me. Like, this is nothing to do with. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I think my mom really had in her mind, and see, the devil would. I'm telling you, that mind, the devil get when he gets your mind. Oh man, he'll make you act stupid and do some stupid things. And so my mom was really thinking like she was thinking like I intentionally was like trying to hurt her feelings, you know what I'm saying, about her cooking and so all this other stuff. It was just like weird stuff. I'm like, woman. So, um, I'm like, I have to be, I have to have, discernment about my health, because I can't carry out the things, that God is calling me to do if I don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not, I'm not eating healthy. And I think that's a part of the grieving process, and coming out of grief. It's self-care, it's what you're eating. The foods that you eat make you feel good or make you feel bad. Let's keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? And so and that's why I think it was important to um I didn't speak to any other food vendors about, because I once I thought about it, I was like, you know what, I might just get some Subway and and cut up the sandwiches or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And keep it simple, whatever. For like refreshments or whatever. I don't know. But God was like, go to Greenleaf, go to Greenleaf. And so, and yeah, and he was like, yeah, he was like, I've never done it before. They've never catered events, but he was saying that he did want to get into doing it. So I'm like, okay, that's perfect. So God lined that right on up. And so yeah, and then just fitness, staying active, like you said, staying active, staying uh like keeping yourself abreast on different reading materials. It doesn't have to always be the Bible, or scripture. Um but then having discernment, you get what I'm saying, that if something ain't good for you. You know what I'm saying? If it's not good for you. um so yeah, just stay away from the things that are bad. Stay away from the things that are negative. It's that simple. I don't know why we make it so complicated. I don't know what's wrong with us.
Mm.
But it's
And
it's that simple. And I think that's what God always dealt with me on, because I know that he created me to be a critical thinker. And so and a visionary. So he's always said, keep it simple, Rebecca. Keep it simple. Just keep
right.
it simple. And so there's two things. There's good and there's evil. And it's nothing in between. So yeah, I try to stay on the good side. I do what I can to stay on the good side. I'm
Mhm.
not perfect, but I know that that's where God wants us to be. You know, always pressing towards the mark. So yeah, so that's what we're doing, and I see it too. I see it that we'll be in different cities and different states. Um, yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. You guys make
Yes,
sure you not only meet us there, as the people say, don't meet us there, beat us there.
beat us there. That's right.
Yeah, beat us
Yes,
there. We're gonna be at the Epic Center next weekend from
yes.
11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And what's the address again for the Epic
It
Center?
is 260 West Palmetto Street in Florence, South
Okay,
Carolina. Yep.
okay.
And y'all make sure y'all show some love to Keeping the Faith podcast with Tori. Okay. You can subscribe. She's on YouTube. I don't know where else she is, but Facebook. But don't worry about it. It's gonna be everywhere, because we're gonna plaster it everywhere. So yeah, so make sure that you subscribe. We can subscribe to your
Yeah,
podcast,
on
right?
YouTube. Come through with the promotion. Come on here,
I'm just,
friend.
I'm just doing what I can do. Okay. I'm just
Come
doing what I
on,
can do.
friend. Yes, I'm on Keep the Faith is on YouTube, and I also have a Keep the Faith page on Facebook. I do
Yes.
have a Keep the Faith Instagram as well that I got to do a better job of doing stuff on that. But yeah, I will definitely get it out
Yes.
there whenever. And then you can also read. Now I will say just comment under the post because I'm gonna
Hmm.
tell y'all this when my personal page. I ain't good at checking Messenger on Facebook. So if you send me a message, forgive me, charge it to my head and not my heart. I don't fool with Messenger because sometimes Messenger got too much stuff going on. But you could comment on my post, be like, Tori,
Yes.
check your inbox, and I'll check it that way. But I don't
Yes.
always check that. I'm not
Yes.
gonna sit here and lie to you, but I will definitely be connected with you. But
Yes.
Rebecca, thank you so much for taking out
You're
time with
welcome.
your schedule. Like I said, I'm looking forward to us fellowshipping next week. And it's on
Yes.
and those that are coming, it's gonna be a safe space. Like just
Yes.
Rebecca was talking, there's like three different, probably four things that she you don't even realize it, but things that I had no idea what I may be talking about. But like there's four different situations that came to mind just as she was speaking. So just know that if you come, it's going to be a safe space, and just
Yes.
allow yourself to just breathe, relax, and just have, like she said, have release.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited now. I was nervous when
So
she talking about
relief.
I said, you got your, but I'm excited now because, like you
Yeah.
said,
Good.
God
Good.
is in the midst and He orchestrated this. So I'm excited for
Yes.
about what
Yes.
He's about to do, because there's
Yes.
so many things that you have. We're gonna talk about this after that. So hang on
Yes.
when we in this live. Hang on backstage because we're gonna
Yes.
talk off
And real
the air because you
and real
touched on
quick.
something. Uh-huh.
And real quick. If you do want to collaborate, I just yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. If you do want to collaborate, you can send us an email. It is goodgriefsc@yahoo.com. I decided to do Yahoo because I'm like, all this stuff going on with Google and Gmail and all that. I'm like, you know what? Them Yahoos they ain't got no problems over there. Okay, you feel me? They ain't got no problems. You ain't got to be trying to struggle, you know what I'm saying? Struggle to get into your account and all this, whatever. So God was like, going to Yahoo, going to so it is Good Grief SC at yahoo.com. So you can send an email, if you want to collaborate, or if you have a story you want to share, or whatever, if you want us to come to your event, or you want us to do a be on panel, or whatever it is, if it's in alignment, then reach out to us on email, and you can inbox me on Facebook on Messenger. It's Rebecca Jackson. You can messenger me on there.
Okay.
Let's see.
And make sure you put the email as well as the link to
Okay.
Eventbrite in the comments as well.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Rebecca, for taking time out of your
Thank
Sunday to come
you.
on. God
Thank
bless
you.
you. And like I said, I'm looking
Thank
forward to
you.
next weekend. Next weekend, and I'm gonna
Thank
be
you.
promoting it from now until
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
weekend. So look forward to
Yes.
seeing you guys there. But thank you guys for watching. If you didn't catch the beginning, make sure you go and watch the replay. Make sure you like, share, and like Rebecca said, subscribe. I'm on
Subscribe.
YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, and share, and comment. And make sure you share this podcast with someone and tell them about the event. And like
Yes.
I say at the end of each podcast, whatever you go through in this thing called life, you may bend, but don't you dare break. And always remember to keep the faith. You guys enjoy the remainder of your Sunday, and we are out. Peace.